Okay, let's see. Uh, Kalalama, hey Jarrett, new here, so I'm sorry if this is a dumb question. How can non-genealogists trust any shared trees on Ancestry or Family Search? Really cool findings, but I worry it's all hearsay. Yeah, no, not a dumb question at all. And this is actually something that most pro genealogists warn about or discuss when they're talking to beginners, because that's one of the easiest things to find is other trees that people have already built. And the way that I treat it is the way that I treat any family tree I find, whether it's on Ancestry, Family Search, Genie.com, WikiTree, GenieNet, a book published 10 years ago, a book published 200 years ago, a magazine, no matter where you find a family tree, it all depends on the sourcing. That's how you can tell. And that is a difficult way to figure it out sometimes, especially if you're beginning, because it can be hard to tell, what are things that are red flags. And that's something that you can learn over time. I know that there's a lot of genealogists I've seen that have done videos on this. Like I'm pretty sure Amy Cross did a video about this. Which, if anyone's not familiar with Amy Cross's YouTube channel, great channel to check out. One of the smaller genealogy YouTubers out there that's been starting to grow a lot. So hopefully a lot of you have probably heard about her. If you have, throw an emoji in the chat. Well, no, I guess maybe not a cross, because I was going to say her last name is Cross. But I think she did a video about that. So let's see. So Amy Cross Genealogy Hints is her channel. And yeah, I know there's been a lot of videos about it, really, but I'm pretty sure there was one at some point. Yeah, here we go. This is the video I was thinking of. So basically, it's kind of just talking about, when you're looking at trees, what are things that you can find that are wrong, that would tell you right off the bat. So here, I'm just going to jump back to this view. So one of the things that I always mention right in the beginning, stop ad, is when you look at someone's tree on Ancestry and you notice a lot of duplicate names, or even more if you notice a lot of duplicate records. So if you go on Ancestry tree and you look at one of the profiles and you see that this person has 4 1950 census records attached, well, look at those records and see, is it a lot of, are all those records being tied to this same person, or is it something more nuanced going on? Because often when you're seeing a lot of those duplications, whether it's in the children or the sourcing or things like that, that is where that can be a big red flag. The other thing to do is when you just look at the profiles, look at the sources they've attached. If they don't have any sources attached to a profile, then you can't really trust it that much, and you're going to have to do research. If they do have sources attached, then you can look through those and verify them. I think this is one of the places that sets the WikiTree website apart from all the other trees, in that the way that they write the profiles, the way they source the profiles, and the way they have comments from the researchers on those profiles makes it so you get the full nuance of everything. And I actually have a great one to show. I can't talk about necessarily why I was researching this, but this is something that I was researching. Let's see. So this was a profile, Marywood Pine, and basically what I had found in my research originally was that she was the daughter of this Elnathan Wood, and I think it was Mary Billington. Yeah, Mary Billington. And basically that line traced up to a famous family that was on the Mayflower. And so in trying to verify that connection, I found issues with Marywood Pine. And WikiTree was the only tree I found that not only had it correct in not having her connected to Elnathan, which I will say I've updated it on Genie, so man, you guys aren't the only ones now on WikiTree. Genie does still have some good, has a lot of good ways of doing these types of things. It's just with Genie, it's not as constant that you'll find that. WikiTree, I think you find these types of nuanced information with the sourcing a lot more, because it's a lot harder to add things in WikiTree without having that. But in this, it talks the research notes and why they removed her from the tree. And I didn't just trust this either. Like, I found this and I went and I looked up Elnathan's will. I looked up the information I could find on the family, and basically everything they said I completely agreed with. Yes, Elnathan has a daughter named Mary, but in his will, he literally calls her Mary Conant. There was a marriage between Mary Wood and that's what it's supposed to say here. There's a Massachusetts marriage between Mary Wood and I think it was Thomas Conant. So we know that they actually were married, and we know that that was the right Mary. So it's unlikely he had another daughter named Mary. And then even more, Elnathan and his entire family were in Massachusetts the whole time, whereas Mary Wood was born in Huntington, Long Island, New York, and lived her life, as far as we could tell, completely away from Massachusetts. So I think this is actually honestly a great question that you're asking, because any genealogist at any level, whenever they find a family tree online, they need to verify it. And I know I've done a lot of streams also talking about building family trees using other things online, which is often called the quick and dirty method, which is something usually used specifically for DNA testing or things where you're trying to figure out connections real quickly. And it's not, well, I don't know how to word it best necessarily, but there's a few reasons why you might want to do quick and dirty building, but it's not the most recommended. And even when you do it, it's best to do it in a way that you're still slightly verifying. You want to check all the stuff.